Hello and welcome everyone to the Genuine Content Podcast with your hosts Jay and Josh. Jay, this is another quick take, man. We're just right back at it. What's happening?
Yeah, man. Well, it's cool, man. We just did an IG live, so for everyone who was on the IG live, man, definitely appreciate that. We're definitely gonna be doing a lot of more IG lives. That I think it's cool. It's cool just to engage with the audience. I think we had up to like 10, a little bit over 10 people for like a spontaneous IG live. Like it's not like we planned it, and we definitely should plan this in the future so get people more involved. But it was cool. It was cool doing that.
I think that's what we are going to do. So we did just a little pilot test of, what IG Live capabilities we have, what we can do, play with a little bit, and ended up having almost a pseudo episode, which we'll see how the recording comes out. We'll release it some other time, but it was fun. Definitely got some engagement, which was definitely what we were hoping for.
Oh yeah, we talked about just stuff like we talked about like we gave people on IG Live like a quick take or like a quick glimpse of what we're gonna talk about in this quick take. But then we talked about stuff like people like was like, oh, what about like a Lil Wayne episode with the whole Billboards ranking him number 7, and we talked about what else people talked about. I know that was the hot take.
We went in depth about Lil Wayne, though. We took it to a few different levels. But then
we definitely talked about
that.
A
little bit in depth about Moran, what we were going to bring on this episode. We definitely talked about that a lot more. We gave a little precursor of what we're going to be doing with these IG lives, of course, and we talked a little bit about some past episodes. Kind of gave people a little bit of a idea of what we've done in the past, and it sounds like in the past it was really just a few weeks ago, but we're on our 4th episode technically.
How time flies now. 4th episode,
crazy stuff.
2 quick takes and 4th episode by the time of next week, right? So we got this coming in this week, and then the 4th episode unreleased should be dropping next week. So we got those 2, got the IG live, and we had the IG live with Karen on a kind of a debriefing or part 2 to the J.K. Rowling episode. So that's gonna be fun. It's kind of a more of a loose episode. Not even episode, just loose recording, getting everyone's perspective now that some time has passed. I know I've heard feedback. I've heard the episode again. I heard my perspectives. It's kind of weird when you listen to yourself again, but I did it. Listen to myself, and then I heard
that, man. Like, I've had the chance to digest my own take.
Right?
I'm like, do I agree with myself?
I was like, I heard my take and I heard you guys take, and I was like, man, like I've said that day. Okay.
Yeah, but man, cool. You'd be surprised sometimes what you hear back on play or especially when it's on Apple. You're like, damn, like, well, there's no going back.
It's out there, man. Once it's on the internet, man, you're stuck.
The streets got it. Yep, the streets got it.
But I mean, again, our goal wasn't to be a harmful episode, but I mean, based on the feedback, I don't think anyone said it was harmful. I would love to. We have to check our messages and stuff, see if anyone from the community responded or want to respond, because I definitely want to hear their perspective on it, whether they thought it was harmful, distasteful, or it was tasteful. Kind of just want to hear every perspective on it, so we can know in the future.
That's J.K. Rowling's comments as well, right? We have this IG live coming next Monday, a week from now. So
what's next Monday? I'm marking it right now. What is next?
It's literally the 20th. Yeah, 7 days from now. Yeah, 7 days.
Man, I don't even think of that.
Exactly. Just add 7 right now, and about the same time. That's what we're going to be doing. So we're recording this right now, like 9:30, but we definitely start the episode a little bit earlier than that, get some takes from everybody before we hit the hay. We still work 9 to 5, whatever, 8 to 5, whatever your vibe is. We still working full time.
Oh, another thing we wanted to talk before I guess we go into the quick take is I think we're planning to do IG lives pre-episodes. Like if we're gonna record episode 5, for example, 30 minutes before that recording, we'll do a quick IG live, kind of get the feel from the audience. Maybe get their, if we tell them the topic, maybe get their perspective on something. We can throw that in the episode. Kind of reward people who are listening to us early. We shot them out in an episode if they want us to.
And this is all going to get our feet wet for basically just live podcasting, right? So we hope to have eventually kind of that platform where everybody is just one community. We have one giant conversation. We have comments flowing, circulating through these platforms, and we can respond as quickly as possible and elevate some of them and keep diving deeper into these topics with everybody alongside for the ride. But Jay, we got a big episode, right? Quick take. Talk
Quick
to
take,
us,
not a quick
man.
episode. All right, man. I mean, I know you heard about what's going on. This is gonna be more of a somewhat basketball episode. At least the topic is regarding to basketball, and then we'll just go from there. In regards to basketball player Ja Morant, for anyone who don't know who he is, he's a point guard. It seemed like he's either a superstar or near superstar point guard for the Memphis Grizzlies, and really good. What, this is his third year, right? Not fourth year.
No, I think he's clearing three. Yeah,
Okay, I'm about to say, I'm like, because if it's four, then time is flying too fast.
might be.
But yeah, no, yeah, he's been caught up because at least the Memphis Grizzlies as of late, um, too much chit chat, man. They talking too much, getting on a lot of people's nerves. Seem like they're kind of getting the persona of the bad boy Pistons. For people who don't know, that's like around the '80s. Uh, they really had this physical mentality, again, like quote unquote bad boys. And I think as of recent, a lot of people saw that Ja Morant was talking too much smack, getting a little bit too fresh, too disrespectful, and this could be seen in like, I feel like almost this all started when like the Shannon Sharp thing, right? Like you remember that? Where
Yeah,
Shannon Sharp got a little, I felt like he was drinking a little bit, but that's man, he's having a good time. Like
yeah,
as a fan,
the Shay
you
Shay.
just yeah, you just talking junk, right? And like, Dylan Brooks got, his face, blah, blah, blah. And then John Morant coming in here, big tough guy. And it's like, and I feel like that's when really, maybe that's when it kind of escalated with his character. And then a couple of weeks ago, or maybe a month ago, he's playing against the Pacers. And I guess, I don't remember that situation too much, but I don't know, like, him and someone from the Pacers, they're chirping at each other. It is like, we both play basketball. Like sometimes like emotions get the best of
Right.
us. Like we just balling, right? We just talking junk. But like usually when we play ball, at least especially with me growing up, is like you talk all that junk, and then once you leave the court, it kind of just stays there. Like it's never
Exactly.
escalated past that. It's just like we're
Exactly.
in the heat of the
You dap
moment.
the person up, right? Good game, GG's, whatever you want to do, and just call it a day. You may talk
But
a little
then
junk
that,
about the foul, but or whatever, or the
yeah,
supposed walk, but that's it.
it's like you have two personas. Like you're two different characters. Like you're a regular person, but then like that dog comes out of you when you play basketball. It's like totally different person. It's just competitive nature. Like I mean, I've been playing ball my whole life. It's always been like that. But like that day or that night, I don't know. We don't know what was said, but all we know is security guards saw the Pacers truck with the red dots coming from, what they're saying is John Moran or his people. It's like, that's, we're not confirming that. I don't know if they confirmed it or not, but that's what was said. And it's like, we all know what red dots mean. So that's one thing that NBA is investigating that. Then you have
Yep.
the recent situation where he's in Denver, he's playing, game's over. John Morant's on IG Live, and he's with a gun, swinging the gun, and it's like, everyone, I guess the initial reaction is, okay, well, why you got a gun at the strip club? And then that's when people really start thinking, wait, how did you get the gun to Denver? And then that's when everything started escalating. Okay, so how did you get the gun to Denver? Did you bring the gun to the plane from Memphis to Denver? Did you bring that gun to to the arena? And it's just escalating now. He's suspended right now, and it's just escalating like because everyone's like, he's this fake tough guy, and it's like, is he hood? Is like, is he being someone he's not? Is he being fake? Like everything, all this is going on right now, and I guess now that smoke has settled a bit, it's like now we want to talk about the situation where what's going on with John Moran is like what's going on with his behavior, and like is this kind of something we see now? Like at least for me, this is what I see now, growing up in not a hood, but somewhere in a not great neighborhood.
Yeah, it's a tough situation because you see a young athlete, right, who's basically at the pinnacle of superstardom or at the cusp of superstardom in his particular sport. I mean, max deals galore when it comes to Ja Morant based on his talent, based on what he's doing for the Memphis Grizzlies, and then all of a sudden, you don't know what's going on in his personal life, but you hate it for him because it's leading to a series of very bad decisions that may unravel the crazy momentum he's built in his career, right? It's a tricky situation. As more details come out, it just becomes more and more confusing. I would say, Jay. I don't know if you agree with that. Like just to
Yeah, because
why?
like
Like what in the hell? Like that's what I come back with. It's not like anything. It doesn't seem like anything sparks any of it, or it's there's any motive for anything. It just seems nonsensical.
yeah, like I think it just doesn't make sense to me because okay, you are superstar NBA player. He's worth half a billion dollars. He his contract can be up worth to $250 million. That's just his contract for his NBA contract, not including endorsements. He just got a Nike deal, got his own shoe, signature shoe, right? Like so, God knows how much money he's making from Nike alone. So a little bit over a quarter of a billion is what he's worth right now. Whatever your thoughts on the Second Amendment doesn't matter, right? You are worth this amount of money. You have to walk. You walk different, right? Like you carry yourself different. Why are you waving a gun? Like whether you think you need a gun or not, like that's on you. I don't know. Whether you that makes you feel safe or you need it because something happened. That's whatever. But why are you showing it off on IG Live? Like, why are you showing up? Like, you showing like, yeah, I'm John Moran. I got a gun on me. Like, don't mess with me. Like, I'm about that life. And then like even previously when I said like you had this incident with someone, so you're gonna just red dot them. So like, yo, I'm not like, don't mess with me, right? Don't f with me. Like, I'm about this. Like, about what? Like, for what people are saying, like you don't have this type of. Like, you're not about this life. Like, you don't have this lifestyle. Like, why? You live in a nice neighborhood or like decent neighborhood. You have two parents. Like you are like trying to play this persona where that you're not like you're not hood or you don't have this hood background where you're a dope boy or you gangbanger. So why are you trying to pretend like you're the tough guy in the NBA? Is it because you're trying to intimidate players? Like it's like I think when I was watching Shannon Sharp when I watch Undisputed, like he said it best. When you make this much money, like you don't carry that. Like real gangsters, right? Like if you think of the mafia and such, like all like the head honchos, these boys didn't carry the guns, right? They didn't do the dirty work. They did whatever they can to be legitimate. You never caught them doing anything. Like it's like, oh, we know he's dirty, but we just can't do anything about it. So then you got John Moran, who's complete opposite, where it's like, now that I made all this money, now I'm gonna show people, yo, I'm about it. Like you're doing the opposite. Like now you're just putting all this negativity toward you now. Now I feel bad because like now you have someone like his dad, T. Morant. Now people are questioning his skill as a parent. Like, oh, like someone like people are saying, well, stop being his friend, be his parent, and talk to him about that. Like, I don't even know their relationship or their dynamic, but now you're questioning it. Like it's kind of messed up. Like maybe he is doing the right thing, but whatever Jaw's behavior is like now you're like, man, I'll be like pissed if I was his dad. Like, man, like I'm like maybe I'm trying to do the right thing, and then you're I raised you better than this, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, so it's crazy because he Jaws in his what maybe third, maybe fourth year in the NBA, but he's 23 years old, and so obviously like that still gives you like full grown adult perspective. So there's no excuse for what he did, but in a lot of ways, like 24 is like that adolescent cutoff. So you're not even a fully matured person yet, technically. Now people grow in different ways, shapes, and forms, right? But I hate the fact that like this is happening right now before the rest of his life kind of takes course. And I'm not saying that there's a better time for any of this. It's just it's so unfortunate that he is literally. I can't even say he's reached his prime as an athlete yet. And now
Oh no, man! Like his prime has to be when you're like 28, right? Like he's still growing.
something like that. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like he has a whole nother set of years of contracts before like he even hits prime.
And
And
not even that.
he's a
I mean, you see how
two-time
lanky he is,
all-star
right?
in like his third year.
I mean, you see how lanky he is, right? Now that he has this money, like now he has generational wealth. You know what you can do to your body? Like look at LeBron. Once LeBron got that money, look how different his body is. Ja Morant can do the same thing. I'm not saying he's gonna be like LeBron size or anything, but like now you can hire chefs. Now you have a personal trainer, personal gym. Like you can do so much to elevate your game.
And hey, like we work out, we hit the gym. I'm not saying we're like, you know, John Morant like quick or we got the hops or anything like that, but we're probably like the same size he is. Yeah, he's just 6'2". He's super
Yeah,
lanky.
it's like well, like we're just like shorter, but a little bit bulkier, right? That's all it is, right? Like it just looked like we got a little bit more muscle, like. But it's just it makes me sad and pisses me off because like as someone who grew up in not such a great neighborhood and it's like I'm not trying to toot my own horn or anything or anything like that, but like I know once like I left and went to college and I graduated and I got a job, I was like, yo, I'm not going back. Like I just knew I was like, I'm not going back to. I can't go back to that. And it's like, do you call me a sellout because like I left the hood and like I forgot about the hood? It's like no, like I don't think that because like I left and trying to better myself and I don't want to put myself in a situation where I lose everything that I worked so hard for. So like if I think that I made it and I think I'm somewhat of a success story because I have a really good job, I made it out, I own like my own things. Like imagine Ja Morant now, like he's worth all this and it's like if Ja Morant grew up nicer than I did and he's going backwards, it's like, what are you doing, man? Like, why are you playing this? Like, why are you Clarence from 8 Mile?
It's I don't know, man. Like I think to myself, like, what type of anxiety or like what is going on behind the scenes that is making him carry like he's carrying, but then like flaunt like he's flaunting, and you could just chop it up. You could chalk it up to being 23, but even then, like maturity or not, like that's still like out of this world ridiculous when it comes to like where he is, what he should be doing, because that was after an away game, right? And like his own
Yeah,
team
he's in
had a
Denver.
team meeting, had
Was
a
it the day
team.
before, right?
It was a players only meeting, right? And they're talking about literally like what you need to do to conduct yourself the right way on and off the court, like what you should be doing on away games, how you need to lock in, stay focused, and like all of a sudden, like next day, he's out of here, like he's up out of here, doing this thing on IG Live, literally the dumbest possible thing you could have done in any
And
nightclub situation is just come packing.
I don't know like about his crew or anything like that, but like those are his real friends. Like somebody needs to really get at him. Like I had people growing up that wouldn't even let me do certain things. Like whether it was selling or hanging with certain people, like they're like, no, like you too smart for that. Like they knew I was like a magnet program. That's like, no, you getting out of here. Like you're better than that. I'm not gonna let you do that. I have friends like that growing up. You gotta imagine if these are Jaws boys growing up and he brought them along with him, knowing he's worth half a bill. If no one's talking to him, like really like trying to set him straight, that's like, what the hell? Or two, is Job that big headed of himself where it's like I'm the one that's worth this much. Like, I'm the one who brought you guys here. Don't tell me what to do, because that's problematic too. Because now he's full of himself. Like, I think again, Shannon Sharp said this. I mean, I love Uncle Shay Shay. He was like, and it's true because I kind of have this someone mentality where once you make more money than your parents and you realize like, no, I'm the breadwinner now. You can't tell me what to do. You can't tell me what to do with my money. Once you reach that, when he said that, I was like, yo, I feel that, because I don't know how I would feel my parents like what to tell me what to do with my money, right? Like, it's like, no, I do this. I pay all the bills, like, but I'm not doing wild stuff either. So I kind of get what Ja, if that's the case, I understand Ja, except he's way younger than me, and I was 23 once. But still, like, someone needs to check him. If no one's checking him, that's a huge issue.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like at this point, from a PR media perspective, he's doing quote unquote all the right things, right? He says he's going to take some time away from the team to focus on his mental health, stress levels, his well being, etc. It seems as though he's checked in rehab. I'm not sure if that's for anger. I'm not sure if that's for anything else, but it seems like he's putting in the work off the field or off the court. Like I said, man, it's whatever personal issues he's gone through between, his high school days, college days, draft days, the whole nine. You never know when it catches up to you, man. And so, no.
And what sucks is like I'm never about like looking at people's wallet, or like I don't want people like losing their jobs or taking like their money away. But like there's got to be a situation where like it needs to be a severe punishment. Like Gilbert Arenas back in the like 2000s got caught up with a gun charge, so kind of somewhat similar, not completely the same. But he was suspended for the rest of the year, and I'm like, man, like you can't slap Ja's hand, right? It can't be a slap in the face. Like it can't be like, oh, you learned your lessons because 5 games you were suspended. Like that's unfortunate. Like he needs to be suspended for the year, because the only way you're gonna learn is by severe consequences. Like, oh, I lost this much money. Like it hurt my pocket, it hurt my wallet. Oh, I'm suspended from the season. Now my team is like a top 4 seed. Now we don't make the playoffs, or like we lose in the first round of playoffs. There has to be some consequence to him with these wild behaviors, and it sucks. But like, I think you have to hit him hard, because it sends a message to everyone in the league. Like, we're not about this type of mentality. This is bigger than you, Ja. This is for like the future youth.
So I have a different take on this, because generally speaking, I could care less about any pro league trying to impose their sense of morality on the community. The reason I say that is because they will go gung ho on one issue and sweep it under the rug depending on the player it is, right? You have, let's say, NFL, right? You have Ben Roethlisberger, who never caught flack for anything that he did. Brett Favre never caught flack for anything that he did. And yeah, of course you hear your fair share of Josh Gordons who have their issues, not nearly on the same grand scale from a morality standpoint, if the general community would appraise the two. But obviously they get the suspensions, they get canceled, they get moved on or whatever, blackballed, what have you. I would just rather, to be honest, what Ja Morant did was illegal in the truest sense, and so he should pay that way. I could care less about suspensions. I don't care. But I mean, if he's not getting at least a massive fine and community service or something along those lines, then well, that's tough. That's kind of my take on it.
I hear you, man. But we can keep going on and on about this, man. This is such a heavy topic. But we gotta be true to ourselves. This is a quick take. And man, I feel like these quick takes could be longer and longer. But man, yeah, I think
For
it's a good
everyone who
time. I think,
listens, right? In the comments, what do you think on Ja Morant? Is he
yeah, what you think?
spiraling downhill? Is he gonna get right from this? Does he face any major suspensions past this? Like, what's going on? Talk to
I
us.
know on the IG Live, people was talking about the whole like what Jalen Rose, former basketball player, now he's an analyst at ESPN. He has some words to say about the Ja Morant situation. We got a lot of feedback in IG Live. For anyone listening, you can let us know your feedback, your take on this. IG, Twitter, all that good stuff. That's our main platforms. I just recently got a TikTok, so definitely look out for more content on that. JAY_Sizz SIZZ. Gonna make some genuine content on that. But yeah, definitely give us your feedback on all that good stuff. It's a growing conversation. I feel like if things don't continue or we don't hear any good news, I feel like this is gonna be a full blown episode at this rate instead of a quick take.
Might as well be, but we'll keep our eyes and ears peeled. I won't say we'll go just too much into it, but I mean it is a classic example of you have way too much to live for. Like why? It's just really confusing at that base point. But we're gonna wrap it up. This is a quick take after all. Once again, follow us on any platform in which you get your podcast, whether it's Apple, Spotify, Google Play. Of course, we're also on YouTube. We've got social media platforms, IG, Twitter, which are at genuine_content, content spelled with a K. Genuine Content Podcast on Facebook. Thank you all for listening in advance. This is Genuine Content. This is our quick take. Jay, let us out.